It's the time to get down.
Wake up, it's a brand new day. Let's get down on the good news train. Have your morning coffee with Mario every Monday. Get the 311 before the morning's done. Laugh until you cry. You can always rely on morning coffee with Mario every Monday. Morning coffee with Mario.
What's happening? What is happening? What is happening? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show, Morning Coffee with Mario. And I'm here with my partner in crime, as always. Give it up also for my partner in crime, Victor Allen. That's the man over there.
What's up, man?
Painting the pictures.
Trying, man.
Yeah, I got to fix that applause. Welcome, everybody. Morning Coffee with Mario, the show that comes to you every Monday, live AM reality talk, as we bring to you the world as it is. And today is an interesting day. It's been an interesting weekend. I don't know about you, but first of all, the weather is affecting everybody around the globe. I even posted, first we had it too warm, Vic.
Right.
Then we had it too cold. Well, let's see. First of all, Alexa, how are you?
Yeah.
Thanks for asking. I've been thinking about a friend. He's a self-driving car, but considering a career change. He says lately it feels like he's just going through the motions.
What does that have to do with temperature?
Lord. Okay, Alexa, weather.
Right now in Los Angeles, it's 63 degrees Fahrenheit with sun and haze. Today's forecast has intermittent clouds, with a high of 72 degrees and a low of 58 degrees.
All right. It's not too bad here. We're using Alexa to help us with our updates now. It's helping out. She's doing a bunch of interesting stuff. Like, okay, Alexa, give me the birthday update.
Here's your flash briefing.
No, Alexa.
In weather.
Stop.
Right now in Los Angeles, it's 63.
Stop.
I like that.
Alexa, birthday update. She's tripping. This is what happens when you get that. Alexa, give me a birthday update.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Okay. I thought it was Alexa, birthdays.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
No, I had her trained. She was giving me the birthdays.
You trained? I don't know.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
Anyway, we're trying a bunch of stuff. Those of you who are on Facebook, you may see some intermittent postings that show up because we're attempting to do this new 3D. The only thing is the connection issues. Camera, it's a new live 360 camera that we've added here at Pax Stereo TV. It's the new Gear 360.
Okay.
For those of you who are wondering which software. And it's supposed to take us to Facebook, stream live to Facebook in 360. And I don't know if it's doing that. I was playing, it came yesterday. I've been working with it throughout the evening.
Right.
And it shows promise. The biggest issue, though, has to do with this software and interacting with the places, but it supposedly will stream live to Facebook and to YouTube.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Yeah, well, hey, it's temperamental. Maybe it's not 160. Maybe it's 120.
Because I'm not seeing shit. But anyway, if you guys see it, if you're on Facebook and you see it pops up that it's a 360 video, that means it allows you to go into the video and move around 360 degrees. It's part of this latest technology that we're testing here at Pax Stereo. But as you may know, when you're testing that technology, testing actually means that some of it doesn't work. So that's part of it. But that's what it's attempting, Vic. It says it's recording.
Okay. Well, that's
It
good.
says it's recording our show. It says it's streaming it to Facebook Live. But I don't see any evidence. I'm on Facebook, and I don't see any evidence of it here at Facebook. But you know, what can I say? All right. So other stuff has been going on besides all that. One of the other examples of the new technology is the droid training that we're doing. People say, you guys got droids? Yeah, we got droids. We got droids, and Miko was helping me train them. I actually brought Miko in and got Miko involved. Because I didn't know if Miko would, you know, when I go off on these tangents, I never know how much the folks are going to like it. So I have my fingers crossed. But here's Miko. Let's take a look at this video with me and Miko. We're in the studio, and Miko's attempting to train. Miko's attempting to train. She was attempting to train the little BB-8 clone droid. Miko, how you try to show them your hand motions? And she was trying hard. And attempting to get it to respond to her hand motions. People don't realize that when you train these artificially intelligent things, there is some involvement with you taking them through some routines. Come close to it so they can see. See, there's Miko. She has on the wristband, which allows her to communicate with the droid. Still not following.
Yeah, it's hard to get him to like.
We were working on it. All right, so we're working on it. Following.
Yeah, it's hard to get him to like.
We were working on it. Whatever. So Mika. So we're training these droids.
Yeah.
Vic, you got a chance to get a look at some of the stuff that was going on.
Oh, I think, you know what? I think it's all an interactive experience, you guys. And when I'm saying that, don't let what you see on video fool you, because there are a lot more moments I caught you guys doing that's not on video. First of all, when you're first getting into it, the one thing that you're literally caught up between doing is, oh man, it's working. Look at what it's doing. And all this exhilaration by Miko and you guys are tripping, and it's all good. Then you come back like you did with your last test a couple of weeks ago. So let me put him over here in another environment. I said, isn't this part of the AI? It goes like this. What room is this? I don't like it. And it acts up. It is a little bit more engaging. And what you see on the video, it's not even catching what really happened. The part is when you start and say, okay, now let's do it. And all the dynamics come in. Positioning. She was standing in a different area. I said, isn't this like Wi-Fi? Isn't this like your phone?
Yeah. You
move into different pockets and all of a sudden it's not acting correctly or the way you want. You're going to see a lot more of that. And then, of course, we didn't even set up the staging for it, man. Not the lighting or everything. So they didn't really get to see the moments I saw that was fun and engaging. It's interactive, man.
We got all kind of new toys that we're training for the shows.
Yeah.
The short list
Yeah.
is we got Legos.
Right.
That we're working on stop motion animation. Miko did a bunch of the assembly on that, on the Legos.
Right.
But we got a bunch of Legos and the new superhero Lego action figures. We also have a whole round of Marvel and DC action figures to be used for, again, stop motion video that we're going to be doing here at Pax Stereo for some of the new series.
Yeah.
We've got a whole Star Wars collection of stuff that we're using for a parody of the Star Wars series that's coming up too for this summer and into fall. We have a whole Star Wars series and a whole series of makeup. If you've ever wanted to see Victor's head in different colors,
Why you got to tell them the secret, man? You got to get.
Well, we just want them to see you.
No element of surprise, man.
Well,
you got to keep see, man.
There'll be a plenty of surprise because based on the people who watch this show.
Let me say. I'm gonna say this, you guys. We have dogs. You can't tell if they're bot dogs or not. So I challenge you to try to jump over the gate. Jump over the gate.
Jump over the gate because we have bot dogs and they may get you. All right. So other announcements, you guys. I don't know how you guys feel, but I've been really sick of my gray. So for those of you who take a really close look today, guess what?
No gray.
No gray. There is no gray.
No gray, man.
There is no gray. That's the thing with my hair. All the new stuff comes in gray. The old stuff stays like this, and I'm already a triple tone. I could do a quadruple tone hair thing, but you know, what the heck? Okay,
Yeah.
What can I say? All right, so hey Vic, so today we got a few things to talk about.
Right.
You know, first of all, always the president's in the news with different things happening. So we always give our presidential update. That is letting them know what. But also, I wanted to note that Illinois is officially a sanctuary state for immigrants. And we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk a little bit about Arnold Schwarzenegger's campaign to sue Big Oil.
Okay.
Getting together to sue Big Oil for global warming and other things. Wow.
Okay.
Really hot and heavy. And then I got a nice little piece I want to show you about these new these homes that are being printed. They're actually being printed with a concrete machine. This is a home that right now costs $10,000. They're planning on getting it down to $4,000. But they print the home, Vic, believe it or not, in 24 hours.
That's pretty good.
So the idea is to print homes for people that provide housing.
Right. That's very
So
good.
we'll be talking about that. What do you got coming up today?
Oh, let's see. Mine is, the things that most people go like, I don't take serious. For example, why should we talk about the Lakers if they sit back and stomped over the Cleveland Cavaliers? It's no big deal. But they still complain about Lonzo Ball. I guess Papa is working on you guys. Leave him alone. The Lakers won. March Madness kicks off this week. I'm not going to say that the West Coast should be happy. We just don't have the scurry of teams that didn't make it to the dance. So I don't know if we're all going to be watching on this side of town, but I am. Odell, that video, it's just a pizza box. The lines of powder, probably sugar. Don't worry about that model. She said he didn't take drugs. We ain't going to worry about that, right? Also, you never thought you would hear Ndamukong Suh being released by a team. The idea that he came in like bully ball, and all of a sudden now he's being released by the Miami Dolphins.
Wow.
Okay. Also,
I didn't know about that one, Vic.
yeah, well, you know how it is, man. Money, money, money. It's always about the money. It's not necessarily about his talent, but the logistic analytics get there and they say, hey, the life cycle is already up. Get your value or just unload. Why is it for Hot Picks, the 100-meter hurdles for the USA women, the place to be? The swift and the beautiful. We're going to find out and pay homage to those who've been able to over-deliver in many ways. And it is still a growing area of target competition. So that'll be our Hot Picks, man. So that's what you got.
Sounding good. We got a full day and a full show for you guys. I want to thank you for tuning in. We got the Facebook folks. We got the Twitch folks. And now we have the latest in our slideshow animations. Here's our own wonderful hot chocolate, Mika Williams and Victor Allen, in the latest slideshow. We'll be right back. Oops.
Been a long, long time since I
Ladies have flags with the watch him working
Right now.
But they say it's fair. Sorry, did last night it was. I shot a bunch of so it kept making them, and then it instantly goes. That's the other thing. It goes. The process it goes. The other one I had to do all this other stuff. Besides all about the heat. Hot Picks of the Week slideshow animation featuring Hot Chocolate, Miko Williams, Victor Allen. This one, Victor and Miko are taking the photos. I took none of these photos. I just got the joy of making the animation. Yes. Yes. I love those. Yeah. Wow. So that's the day's animation. Let me see, pull that stuff back. What a wonderful week indeed, you all. Now, are you ready for some news?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. It's been that kind of way. How can you really be wanting the news? You know, it's like news. Here's the news. What did the president do?
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. Time for the good news, bad news, and the other shit. Yes, the news continues as we get to sit and watch the president take up arms against his own party. I must admit, as a radical leftist, I just stay out of the way and enjoy everything. This latest issue on tariffs goes to underscore how stupid your president actually is. He's a person who has no philosophies, therefore it's very easy for him to change on a whim from side to side, back and forth, because he has no philosophies of his own. He had the nerve to call Maxine Waters low IQ, and I said, listen, just like I said, you know, coming from this idiot, you don't even know, what does IQ stand for, Mr. President? I bet you don't even know that. So that was a joke, but the president has continued. He called one of the reporters from MSNBC Sleepy, a sleepy son of a bitch. And I said, I thought Sleepy was Melania's name for your penis.
Oh, that's jacked up, man. You just had to go there.
That's Sleepy. Just imagine the little Tyrannosaurus hands trying to reach for Sleepy.
Oh, man.
Sleepy! Sleepy!
That's just wrong.
Take that. So the president continues. I wish he would insult me. I would love to go head to head in a verbal insult, because I would tear his whole. I'm sorry. I would pull the family in. I would pull the family in and rip everybody, one and him. I would love to be engaged with the president in a war of words. I was thinking about that. That's why I said Sleepy. That's Melania's name for your penis, and we know. Now the world knows. But an ongoing thing is what's going on with the president. So, like I said, he's at war with his own folks. The tariff thing, which was so poorly thought out, you know, at least I know as a person who's not really knowledgeable about tariff and tariff law. The one thing I do know is how complicated it is, because how it affects your own people too. That was the whole problem part of the problem with tariffs is the complexity that's involved in then working out things. So the president obviously woke up and wanted to demonstrate to everybody his leadership powers. This is why I'm afraid of him in terms of having access to that button. He wants to demonstrate his prowess because other things are going bad for him. So he comes up with this. The only good thing about it is you got to watch the whole GOP implode. This is a total antithesis of what they stand for. So you got to watch these brown nosers who've been kissing his ass all along actually now have to deal with the fact that he just totally came out with philosophies and policies that are against what you stand for. What a hilarious chain of events. And remember, the president doesn't like to admit that he's wrong or back up, so that's just not going to happen in that way. The president is staying firm and entrenched, and so we're going to see a tariff war. Oh, but then they did come back and say that we'll exclude Canada and Mexico, because he forgot that when he first did the tariff on steel, okay, that the Canadians were like the biggest ones. You know, the people who was trying to impact China was like 5th on the list. Everybody else was all people you trade with regularly. Mexico, Canada, South Korea, all your allies. So you just started an active trade war with all your allies in an attempt to show your prowess. What an idiot. Now we get to watch the Republicans dance around this or attempt to scale it back. Or they call them, we don't really want to do this. This is not what we do.
It's kind of stormy out there, isn't it?
That's terrible. Stormy. Anyway, the president, and that's part of the president's so entrenched in dealing with the Stormy Daniels controversy. By the way, and I've told people, you can see, if you want to see Stormy in action, I had to go look. I'm a man. Pig, in other words. And I had to go look, so I want you to know Pornhub has extensive Stormy collection. Only thing is I only watched 2 or 3 because I was getting a little bored, because I'm used to them thick sisters, kind of those Latin.
You're used to?
I'm just saying, Stormy's mostly this.
Right.
Stormy's mostly this and less of this. I want them, but I'm a black man, I need a little bit that bottom, some out back to drive us out front. But she's still an attractive lady. And she knows how to. She shows some skills. If you are curious, just go to Pornhub, search Stormy Daniels. Tell them Mario sent you.
They already looked. Everybody already looked, man. You know that already.
She was working. I said Mac was thanking me. Mac McAllister, G&N bureau chief, who does the pre-show, he was just thanking me.
Yeah, I can imagine.
He said he watched Stormy playing harmonica.
Oh man, man.
So anyway, the president's in the news. That's part of the crazy thing. Now, there's other things. Illinois officially became a sanctuary state for immigrants. This happened, you're right. Wow, here's a picture of Governor Bruce Rauner. At least that's the way you pronounce it. He signed the Trust Act. Now, again, we don't actually know what these sanctuary. We know that they instruct the city police people to either avoid certain types of things, but there's only so much where they can go with this legally, as far as I know. So, but it's interesting to watch. I'm not sure it means the same thing in Illinois as it does here in California. And in California, we signed it also. And there's also the issue of marijuana. So we will see. I know Attorney General Sessions has laid out a list of states that I guess they plan on combating on this kind of stuff or going to court. And so I guess Illinois will be adding themselves to the list. At least I can say it's bravo for us. Because I know where I am. I'm for all colonized people to be able to move freely within the colony. It says Mexico is our colony. I want all of them to move freely within the colony. We control every damn thing they do down there, damn near. Okay? If not, we can wreck it. Believe me, we got the Mission Impossible team all over Latin America. They're not doing too much that we don't want. Okay? So there's a whole thing about that. But anyway, we're just glad some things are happening. So Arnold Schwarzenegger says he went to South by Southwest, Dick, and he gave a speech at South by Southwest saying that he's getting together with some other folks to sue Big Oil for first-degree murder, claiming that the effects of Big Oil is actually leading to deaths. He says there's no difference from the smoking issue, and I'll quote, This is no different from the smoking issue. The tobacco industry knew for years and years and years and decades that smoking would kill people, would harm people, and create cancer, and were hiding the fact from the people and denied it. Then eventually they were taken to court and had to pay hundreds of millions of dollars because of that. The oil companies knew from 1959 and on that there would be global warming happening because of fossil fuels, and on top of that, it would be risky for people's lives, that it would kill. Wow. So, and I quote more, we're going to go after them. We're going to be in there like an Amazon tick, because to me it's absolutely irresponsible to know that your product is killing people and not have a warning label on it, like tobacco. Every station on it, every car should have a warning label on it. Every product that has fossil fuels should have a warning label on it. So Schwarzenegger, who's joining together with some other corporate interests, are saying they're serious about doing this.
Let me ask you this. I'm just questioning. Well, so and you know me. I'm gonna ask this because I have to pretend like this was not knowledgeable as he was a governor, or is it that the rule of participation is that you don't take those torches while you're the governor, or am I supposed to be led to believe that he just became aware of it? So I'm always going, isn't this like the book that's after you serve politics, you go, oh, I knew a lot of shit, excuse my language, apologize to your children and everybody else. But I just couldn't say it during the time it's most important for me to lay down the law and the rules and be whatever I'm serving. So am I supposed to believe that this is just like an awakening right now?
Maybe so, huh? I remember when the same thing happened when Bill Clinton was on a late night talk show talking about marijuana laws. Yeah. And some of the other illegal drug laws, and somebody commented, wow, too bad you were never in a position to do anything about that.
Yes. Now you see, and I'm not hating on his effort. He's not
taking, let's see what happens, because what Jerry Brown did in making California a sanctuary state, that's bold.
That's what I'm saying.
That's leadership.
That's my point.
He's
risking his
totally what he did in order to balance the budget in California.
Right.
What Jerry Brown did.
Right.
Hard to do because you have to tell people no.
Okay.
But he did do it, right? That's leadership.
Okay. You know what?
Leadership, and obviously some people. I agree with you, Vic. They're leaders in the quiet times too.
Right. I'll just take for granted that we're getting set for Terminator Genesis Part 2. Okay, I'll just say it's a film in development because it's just, you know, I'm just going to go like this. You have to have something you want to throw your hat in the ring to stay kind of prevalent in what you're doing. And we'll see. Because when do you make the biggest impact? Isn't this similar to Al Gore and the mantle he took as far as global warming, which I don't question, but is it that maybe it's my ignorance? You can't do these things while you're representing your party, you're playing the role as vice president or governor. These things are too altruistic. You have to wait until after your term, and then you can go out there when you have less power. So I'll take it that way.
Well, and so it is.
Yeah.
We wanted you to know and to be aware. Take a look at this. Imagine practical solutions to the homeless crisis. I know in years gone past, Meredith Beale, one of my good buddies, Lasting Value, had told me about people who are investing in machines that make bricks. That they basically the machine drives out to wherever you are, and then they find a way to make bricks out of whatever you have. Like,
right.
So you drive the big machine truck out to your location, and then it can make bricks from the local ground soils, you know, by mixing and doing things as a ways of creating inexpensive housing, shelters for people all around the world to have these kinds of things. Well, the world has evolved, and along with that, 3D printed homes for the developing world is a new thing. I thought this was fantastic.
Yeah.
At the risk of a copyright infringement, I'll let you take a look. Look at them printing this concrete home. Wow. Even though some places you made, I don't know how concrete is totally made. Look at this thing. 3D printing technology, printing a home. Entire house, less than 24 hours. They're going to be doing it in El Salvador to start.
Okay.
Sustainable 3D printing, safer, more affordable homes for more families, faster. Take a look, you guys. Shelter, self-pride, building of community. It's all
Nice.
possible.
Nice, man. That's nice.
I was excited watching this, you guys. I was really excited, and I said, wow, what this could really be something special.
Yeah. That's interesting. Don't they have something happening that's somewhat local that's dealing with these, not necessarily set up the same way here, with they have some homes that are like valued at about $10,000 that really are small. And we've covered the story before years ago when they had it back east, and they were showing you these little model homes that you could barely stand up in and everything like that. But something's happening locally here.
Well,
I
the
can't
little,
remember.
the tiny home market is exploding, and there's a number of shows on that. They're not like little doll houses in the sense that it's just the amount of available space.
Right.
Some of them are 250, 300, 400 square feet.
Right.
The ones that you were seeing just right there were like 800 square feet.
Got it.
So those are small, but it's the size. You can stand and everything. It's the amount of available living space
Right.
that varies. But definitely tiny living, because I watched those shows
Yeah.
about people who are downsizing. It is an ongoing area of development,
Very good.
and so we were.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
There you go, everybody. That's this week. Sleepy. Ooh, what can I say? We're going to be getting into some marijuana for dummies coming right up. But you know what I do? I like to give you a little music. We do those musical breaks because, one, we love the music, and also because this music is free. You can go get it. Creative Commons. It's the movement where artists are making songs available to you for free to share with your friends, but retaining their rights for any commercial use. Go and get it. And here's one of my favorites.
Love,
We'll be right back with some
the
marijuana for
electrifying
dummies.
formula between two people with feelings, deep, charismatic, compelling, creating a union that is telling, shining a light, shedding a glow, feeling your soul. From love arises a booming energy, sending the world a message in a bottle. There is more to show. As the love grows and kicks into full throttle, the fused unit produces a message that becomes a more powerful whole, even more powerful than the love in full.
We go here, we go there, we go where we think we'll find it. Again we search until we see how it is. We'll never be free, 'cause we make goals, we make plans, we make love,
Wonderful shot.
we take steps, 'cause we know our time is short. We make the best.
We're going to see how that 3 believe it.
But tell me where do we go with our broken hearts? Tell me where do we go with our broken hearts? We go here, we go there, we go where we think we'll find it. Again we search until we see that we will never be free. But where? But tell me where do we go with our broken hearts? Tell me where do we go with our broken hearts?
Trying as Facebook shows us waiting for me. They'll fix all that. That's I didn't know.
But tell me where do we go with our broken hearts? Tell me where do we go with our broken hearts? Tell me where do we go with our broken hearts? Tell me where do we go with our broken hearts?
Yeah. Hey, what we're experimenting around with here lately is this new Gear 360 camera that's come out, which is the latest by Samsung to do 360 programming, and so we're using it here live on the show. So some of you may be seeing some of the stuff. It's also going up to YouTube.
Oh, that's cool.
Who knows?
They're trying to monitor it.
We're trying to monitor it, and it's all new technology, trying to make sure we give you something a little different. You guys ready to talk about some weed?
Times are a-changing, but some things stay the same. You start each morning with a cup of coffee every day. Maybe hit the snooze, turn on the local news, but nothing good comes from a one-sided point of view. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info, stay for the reefer. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info and stay for the reefer.
Yes! Marijuana for dummies. Well, I must admit that my card expired, and I got to get back in there to get the renewal, which usually runs about $35. And so I'm going on some of my reserves. I got a half ounce of this Insane. It's an indica called
Okay.
Insane. And you know, I usually don't like those kinds of names for my weed. But let's see. Usually you can search it. Indica strain. Because I'm encouraging you to do this when you buy stuff. Indica strain Insane. Right, you can rap. Indica strain Insane. Insane in the membrane. So let's see. No particular, nothing on this one. So it may be a newer strain. Typically, when I look up the stuff that I'm getting from my dispensary, I actually can find online reviews.
Right.
So this one is a newer one. And because in California, when you are a dispensary, you get to develop a product source. So a lot of them are new and coming. So this one so far is pretty good. I normally don't like to have indica in the morning because it tends to make you want to go back to bed. But, we're running low. Anyway, so marijuana. So the latest marijuana news, you guys. And there's so much because everybody's kind of holding their breath for Attorney General Sessions to actually, lower the boom on some of the people. But people are gearing up to fight. For me, I just laugh because it's too much money.
Right.
It's just too much money. They're not going to stop any of that. As it turns out, they're looking at new places that are talking about expanding medical marijuana, specifically Tennessee, Virginia.
Okay.
They're talking about expanding it, Arkansas. These are places that are traditionally more conservative.
Okay.
But now they're at least talking about going with the medical marijuana.
So is this a dance with Sessions, or is he saying this is a fight that he knows he can literally say, I can win this one? I mean,
you wonder because it's one in which the states are increasingly defiant toward the federal government.
Right.
The federal government then can direct resources to go into individual states and do things.
Right.
But again, that costs money, and you have to deal with how unpopular that may be. In general, those kinds of things are very unpopular and expensive, so people don't know how much Sessions is really going to do or how much he's just woofing.
Right.
The president and his group try so hard to find areas in which they can do something that can be interpreted as a win that this, to many of us, is just one of those. It's an area where they could do something just so it can be interpreted as a win.
Right, an effort.
So that's one of the things that we're looking at around the world. It's an ongoing debate, by the way, actually worldwide, about where you actually go to consume your medical marijuana or your recreational marijuana. I talked to you previously about Amsterdam, where I've been, to the historic Bulldog Cafe. And even Amsterdam, which has a series of outlets all throughout, selling marijuana, it's still illegal to transport or grow.
Okay.
So how are you supposed to get them? They have a whole series of coffee shops, and you can't call yourself a coffee shop if you don't sell marijuana.
Right.
But then they still have these other archaic laws about growing or distributing.
Okay.
Where they look the other way, because obviously the marijuana is getting into the stores every day, right?
Right.
Where is it coming from if it's illegal to grow or distribute? Just like that, we have our own schizophrenia about where to use. Even in Las Vegas, right now, where they're actually developing outlets, right?
Right.
They're only doing so because the city has not specifically said they are illegal.
True.
Las Vegas, Nevada specifically did not legalize marijuana lounges. They sort of tabled it for further evaluation. Because they did not actually come out against it, a number of enterprises launched that day.
Right.
They say, well, they didn't say no, so we're going into business. So they launched that day.
Okay.
So there still remains an issue about where you legally can go and consume your weed. Now, typically, if you're a homeowner, that's the spot. But there's a question mark for apartments and those kinds of things, even though here in Los Angeles, the laws have been fairly clear and they've been enforced about your rights as a renter and your ability to enjoy or use marijuana.
Okay.
In other places, it's not quite the same.
Okay.
So where do you use? So anyway, I'm still in favor of what they actually have in Amsterdam, if they would just legalize it, where they have, you show your ID, you can go into the coffee shop, you can purchase marijuana and consume it there, but there's no smoking of marijuana out on the streets. They do have an issue with smoking in the parks. Right. When they're sitting out in the parks by the, the ponds and having their lovely picnics, they are known to share and engage in smoking marijuana. It doesn't seem to be the big issue that it is here, but again, the whole public use is another whole thing.
I would be interested in looking at when they began to take this particular journey and road. How long did it take from the inception of the idea or the suggestion to full implementation, so you can have some model of this is how long it took before it became a cultural acceptance of how we're doing a social engagement with marijuana. It seems like the politics and the competition for better or big business is absent in the story, and maybe that's not the model they have over there in Amsterdam.
Well, part of the issue is you're talking about something that's never been done in history, so you don't have any specific models.
Right.
You could try to extrapolate from the experience with, for example, alcohol as a substance, but I think that only gives you so much of a comparison, the effects of a society dealing with it in the legislation, but you still, when it comes to things like marijuana, unheard of, you're in uncharted territory.
Right.
So all you have is the efforts that went into the previous issues with alcohol.
Right.
And mostly those are used as examples of failing efforts. But no one, it depends on, but first of all, you can't agree what the goals are.
Right.
If the goals are for less people to use drugs, well, doesn't seem like just making them illegal seems to be the thing that works for that.
Right.
But again, to be seen.
Yeah.
Times are a-changing, but some things stay the same. You start each morning with a cup of coffee every day. Maybe hit the snooze, turn on the local news, but nothing good comes from a one-sided point of view. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info, stay for the reefer. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info and stay for the reefer.
Wow. Gotta say we enjoyed that. Coming up next, some sports. Until then, one of my favorite Creative Commons tracks by Laswell this time is Drunk in a Smoky Bar, drinking an Imperial Porter Mix. We'll be right back.
When you walked away, it was the saddest day that the world has known. Shattered my heart and left me with pieces of a broken home. Now you say you need me, standing at the door, asking if you can come in, and I can't say no, no, I can't say no. You and I just can't say goodbye. Every time we do, well, it's just another lie. I know you're no good for me, but every
Precise Sound of Body Heats. Laswell. Drunk at a smoky bar. Drinking an Imperial Porter mix. Love that. Well, I hope you dressed appropriately. Sports bras, and jock straps. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Victor Allen's Newz Sports. His unique fan-based perspective on sports. That's right. The man that the ladies have nicknamed Sexual Chocolate. Rub his head and make his wish. Put on your sports bras and jock straps because it's time. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for Newz Sports with Vic. Yeah! Yeah! Sports!
Hey man, it was so funny. I'm at it on my phone, and usually on your phones, when you actually have your phone turned a certain way to certain apps, it automatically rotates and it configures for you, no matter what side you turn it on when you're in portrait to landscape. I go on Twitch. Mine is turned this way. It doesn't adjust and turns it upside down at the app. It just stayed upside down. So I'm looking and I'm going, oh man, I look on the display from my phone, I look fine. But on the display from looking at from the point of the viewer, that whole segment, I'm upside down. Twitch, I know you guys are bomb.
So if your stone is standing on your head, they can watch it and enjoy it
right.
purposely.
So I want to apologize for you guys if you saw me all up in the grills here. Let me do my sports, man. Let me go ahead and do this because I know everybody wants to sit back and talk local sports since we're based in Los Angeles. But if I start off with March Madness, you're going to have some USC fans not happy. If I start off with Pac-12, totally not stepping up to the level that their historical representation plays in March Madness. And if I stick with the Lakers, everybody's going to talk about, hey, LeBron James. They don't care about the basketball game. They just care about, is he coming to L.A.? Let me go to Tiger Woods. Second place. If second place gets you success in ratings, has he been forgiven, Mario? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Well, he's a favorite.
Has he been forgiven? You know.
Yeah, he was never. I don't know that he was ever.
In the public eye.
To me, he got more past than almost anybody that I've seen in recent times.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
For drugs, for the woman, domestic, everything.
Right.
Infidelity. He got a pass on everything.
He's gotten a pass, man.
He got a pass on everything a good man would want to pass in.
So let me see the teaching model and the lesson is. If the public can absorb it, and the majority says we'll see it, and those who said I'm not going to watch him anymore, it doesn't matter. And then they get the ratings for a guy that comes in second place. One shot, got to give him to it, man. Valspar's championship, he was one shot away from at least taking it to overtime. So, I don't have to tell you guys all that. What I'm trying to figure out is this. If the ratings for the last 10 years is breaking records, plus 600% and all that, he's been forgiven, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. The model that we're teaching the public, those up and coming, young, athletic, wide variety of performers, are they getting a lesson here that to be the king is good to be the king?
It's always good to be the king.
Do you endorse that model? It's good to be the king.
I don't think it needs endorsement one way or the other. It's just one of those things that absolutely is.
It's right.
It
right.
just is.
Look,
you can choose not to like it. You can choose to like it.
Hey.
But it kind of is.
Stay on top, right? Stay on top with your drop.
That's right.
I say, look, okay, we treat sports here. Unlike the only sport that I know is slamming worldwide is soccer, and their whole culture adopts it like religion. So we haven't gotten to that level yet, and I'm not sure if we will, the way soccer has. Okay, so you looking forward to being the one that's going to place your bet on whether he's going to win another major?
No, I'm actually looking beyond him to March Madness. But like I said before, when he first started his downhill, I said typically when you're aging, you still have moments of greatness. It tends to be like you're going down with little spikes,
right,
of where you show your greatness. Just less often,
right,
less of a degree,
Right.
but it's the ability to consistently perform at a high level
Right.
that you kind of lose. You see it in all the ball players too. Same thing.
Right.
You can still have a moment of greatness. You can go out there one night and hit 5 threes,
Yeah.
but the next game you can't really run with them. So here we go. So Tiger's, the question is, when does he retire? But I guess that's all in him.
Yeah, well,
Look at the numbers. You sort of demonstrated it. Even in the process of struggling with this whole process of aging,
Right.
he continues to be the number one draw.
right.
And so therein lies the message, I guess.
Well, and one of the things sit back, and how you doing, Eric, man? I see you. Thank you for the support here. I got you on Facebook, man. I'm trying to acknowledge without trying to interrupt the flow here because I'm staying here because I want to acknowledge because that's just part of the program. Hey, look, all I'm saying is most people didn't realize he had a back problem. Can anybody take witness to what it's like and how debilitating it is to have a back
Well, he had
problem?
2 surgeries. He was out, so it's been known. They might just not be paying attention
to it.
Right, but he's had 2 surgeries, and he had them at the height of his career, right?
Right.
So
Yes. Yeah. So all I'm saying is this. We needed someone to cheer for. We needed somebody to fill the gap. That thing where they say once you were on top, that's it. I'm not mad at him. I'm not making the moral judgment on him because, first of all, those who are actually doing that get to hide behind thumbnails and probably most of the time double standards. So who am I to turn around and pass judgment on him? Look, I'm going to say this. As far as the guys, a lot of us grow up rolling with friends that do the stuff that Tiger does, and we still sometimes find ourselves hanging with our friends. When we actually want to do a function, this is back in the day, whatever you want to call your day. You needed a party, who did you go to? Call the bad guys.
Well, it wasn't a matter of, having a consensus over the morality of the ways that you chase the women.
Right.
So the point was that everybody was chasing.
Everybody was doing
So
it, man.
we could have a debate about the morality,
Right.
but, everybody was chasing.
Everybody was on their mission, and rightfully so. And I'm just going to say, look, everybody wants to see a king win. They want to see a champion bounce back. And so, hey, you guys got it. I'm not going to get into the master stuff, man. We'll see. I do believe he'll win something. That's all I can say. All right, man. I want to go to the next one, man, because Odell, okay. I'm hoping this is not true, but I'm just going to give it to you the way I am. I'm just going to say Odell and it's pizza. I'm just saying this. A video surfaced over the weekend featuring New York Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. and an aspiring French model, Laura Quincha, I'm not sure how they pronounce it. Some pepperoni pizza and what appears to be a blunt, as well as some lines of cocaine. Beckham can be seen holding what appears to be a blunt, while, of course, the model, Laura, is lining up the white powder substance with a credit card. However, she's already dived in to come to his defense and told the New York Daily News that Beckham was actually holding a piece of pizza. I'm going to keep saying it. Say that 5 times. In the video, and says that the Giant star did not take any drugs. You know what, Mario? For the sake of being objective, I believe her. I believe that if you're sitting in the bed with a model, a blunt, pizza, and strings of cocaine, you're not taking any drugs.
Well, he may not have snorted the cocaine. We've all been around people who were trying to use cocaine back in the day that we didn't do it.
Right.
I mean, there was a time when they said cocaine wasn't addicting.
Right.
And people were openly using cocaine at the nightclubs around Los Angeles.
Right.
Openly.
Right.
In the nightclubs.
Absolutely.
Okay, that was just the day.
Look.
So, but on the other hand,
wait a minute, Mark.
on the other hand, we are not.
Wait a minute.
We are not.
Wait a minute.
We're not Odell Beckham.
Wait a minute. Let me say this. First, what's up, Ray? I see you, man. Okay, let me just say this. Okay, let's just say he didn't. He's up for the biggest contract, for his talents, which are clearly above everybody else. is he going to get that all-time contract? And if so, the message is that you can actually go take the picture, take the video. If you don't actually see me do it, then it's you can't assume there's no harm, no foul.
Well, that's the praise learning from the president.
Wait a minute, what are you trying? Oh, you know, you putting it on the
Everybody's
president.
learning from the president.
Wait a minute, the president didn't start this.
No,
This type of
president
way.
set the attitude that says you could just bullshit everybody. Just say, hey,
Wait a minute.
who do you believe, me or your lying eyes?
Wait a minute.
Your lying eyes. You
Look,
believe in
man.
your lying eyes?
All I'm saying is, okay, so what you're saying, let me just try to get this straight. I'm just saying this. I'm gonna take a quick
Yes.
I'm gonna take a quick look and say, look at the picture. Look at her. The embed of
I
Odell.
think they were probably sharing poetry.
I just want you to understand. Okay, I'm not. Look, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt more. I'm trying my best to give him the benefit of the doubt. What I'm saying, as far as the money is concerned, he's going to play football. They got him. Okay?
So what are you saying then?
I'm saying they got him. I mean, the money's the thing. What we're talking about, he may be affected by the money, right?
Yeah.
So,
But you just said the money's, you just said the
well,
money.
we're talking about now the negotiation. If you're literally saying, hey, I don't want to pay him as much as he's asking for it, will this help the argument? That's where I'm going at.
Oh, okay.
And
I think they don't want to touch this unless they're forced to.
Yes.
So they'll give him the same drug test, and if he passes,
yeah.
everybody will say bravo. Just pass the drug test. Maybe the league will even help him.
Well, he is going to pass the drug test, right?
Well, like I said,
Because aren't the drugs really masked where they're playing catch up to try to catch them more over?
well, it depends what drug.
Yeah.
Not cocaine.
Cane, no.
No, cocaine's
Right.
pretty straightforward and specific.
How long in
They
the system?
try to create new drugs
Right.
that are not part of the testing. That was like ecstasy was an attempt at that.
Right. Okay. My guess is, man, since they can't prove it, he's getting that contract. You got to prove it. All right. Now I'm gonna take you over to the next because we got to do the local here because the local is
That's
that
a big deal.
dude. I know what it is. That's why I'm waiting to sit back and go. If they don't give him his contract, they're actually going, well, the perception of that, what's happening. Maybe it doesn't prove it, but the image or the optics is not good and it can affect your money. So I'm pretty sure they're going to try to negotiate around it. All right, Lakers delivered. Okay, this guy, Julius Randle, I've always believed he plays bully ball. And he doesn't care who's around him. Got it. That wasn't the story of last night or the other night. I believe it was last night. That wasn't the story. The story was Isaiah Thomas coming back to play Cleveland. And LeBron. That got kind of lost. And the only reason why I'm saying that is that I think it became the third story. I think the first story is the Lakers literally going, let's convince him to come here. That was number one. Number two, Julius Randle went buck wild off. 36 points, 14 rebounds and 7 assists. So for him to demonstrate, you're going to negotiate me, contract up in this year, they get to negotiate him, free up cap space. We already talked about this. With the display of what they did against Cleveland, akin to look how well we performed against Cleveland. LeBron and his minions, I don't mean no disrespect by that. Most people don't realize they don't have the regular team that won the NBA championship. Love is out. Kyrie is out. Tristan Thompson hasn't rebounded yet. So really it's LeBron James and a host of characters. Is this any way symbolic that the win yesterday wasn't that great, Mario? Because it's LeBron and the rest of the team. And part of the team is a couple of the former Lakers. So was it like Lakers playing Lakers B team with LeBron? Was it that significant?
Well, it's significant. It just, to me, is a part of the signifying of the changing of the guard.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Well, let's put it like this.
Oh, yeah.
A reshuffling
Yeah.
of the guard.
Absolutely.
Other people, other teams stepping forward. San Antonio dropping back. Cleveland dropping back, Celtics moving forward,
Yeah.
Lakers moving forward,
Right.
Houston moving forward. We can debate what the Warriors are doing.
Right.
But yeah, it's at least a reshuffling
It is.
of the guard. You know, Vic, all I can say is that I've already been on record for talking about the players I wanted to keep.
Right.
The debate we had was who you have to trade in order to get whatever this is you wanted. And I wanted to build around
The young talent.
Clarkson,
Right.
Randall, and so they already traded Clarkson, which I thought was going to end up being a consistent, high-level, all-star performer possibly for years. So
Right.
I was already disagreeing with that.
Right.
I disagree with Lou Williams.
They're both kind of
They
the
got
same
nothing.
players, too.
They did stuff. So here we have Randall that I've also said before. That,
Right.
Again, I would keep him and build around those people and not be. And I don't know. Like I said, I'm not sure I agree with the philosophy that espouses the Lakers go for this big. Again, I just wouldn't build my team that way, going for the big marquee player, big thing. That's
Right.
I just wouldn't build my team like that. Even in LA, I would build a strong, hard-working team. I would build like that San Antonio type franchise here in Los Angeles. I wouldn't be building that other type of franchise. So we just get to see.
Right.
Maybe the Lakers will trade away every player that I thought was good.
Right.
But they already, to me, like I said, I'm giving Magic and them the benefit of the doubt because it's Magic. But I've disagreed with a bunch of the moves. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Like I said, I disagree with Lonzo Ball.
Right.
But we'll see.
Right.
So,
right. No, look, I did. Believe me, if we were good at this, we'd be in the executive quarters making the decisions for basketball operations. No, I'm no way. I'm in line with.
I would have
being
kept
able-
Clarkson and traded Ball. Okay.
It's hard. It's hard because I think what they're doing is the same. It reminds me of Isaiah Thomas. It reminds me of Lou Williams. The one example that changed to me everybody currently was Russell Westbrook. They looked at him as a two guard, as long as Durant was there at Oklahoma, that he would just score. And that's as far as you could take him. And then operating on his own without having, a franchise player, he turned out to be an MVP, triple-double season. He became more of assist, rebound. He took it to the next level. It'll be interesting, your philosophy, especially with Clarkson, because now that he's on a team that has what they call senior leadership, he should be able to excel and tap into that talent. Or if he stays at the same place, then you look at him as a role player instead of somebody who affects change. Almost like what Boston did with Kyrie Irving. Did Kyrie's insertion take them to this certain level? And we still won't know until we get down the road when they're fully loaded with their complement, Gordon Hayward and everyone. So we'll see. So yet to be determined. I will just say I find it interesting that Cleveland, with the host of role players, with Nance, with Hood, Clarkson, J.R. Smith, that they're struggling at 500 ball. That's what I'm finding to be interesting. And they have a Hall of Fame player on their team, whereas the Lakers is probably going to your point, Mario, that here it is. We don't have any marquee players. And we're doing it, and our record is showing that we're now going to threaten 500 balls, so they're stepping up. Patience. And some people are saying, wait till next year to go to the market, but we all know this. They do need a marquee player. They will not be able to do it with just role players.
Again, see, my issue has to do with how you build a team. See, to me, and I guess because of that kind of a thing, I would have built still the strongest team I could out of the players I had. And then I would look to see at that point. That's not the philosophy. I could see trading Nance. I would never have traded Clarkson. And I would have built my team. I thought the one area that you had was some good guard play.
Right.
You still do. And so then I would just seek to wait for the time when it became more available.
Yeah.
And maybe it's one of the people that is new and young. Maybe that's a draft choice thing.
Right.
Maybe you can build a team and then wait for the next Embiid to come along or someone like that, or the next Towns to come along,
Right.
then do it that way. I would certainly do it that way. Again, I would build the way San Antonio builds.
Well, but they did it with 3 Hall of Fame players starting, and even
but
before
how
then.
they got there, they got there.
But they
They're
anchored.
not known for making crazy trades.
No, I agree.
Rid of half their
But
team
once
for
they
one
started,
player.
once they had Robinson handed off to Duncan. Duncan handed off to Ginobili. They had an anchor of a Hall of Fame player already embedded.
Which they acquired
Right.
in the means of which I'm saying they
Right.
did no crazy trades.
No.
And even the marquee players they have now,
Right.
they didn't do those kind of destructive team trades
Right.
to get there.
Right.
And that's the part I don't understand.
Right.
When you just destroy your team
Right.
for another direction
Right.
when you already were good.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
no,
why said
I agree. Look, I agree with being patient and diligent.
Well,
Yeah.
let's see what the Lakers do again. I'm saying obviously Magic and them must know something that I don't. But
same here.
I have not agreed with the decision. So let's see.
Okay. All right, we're going to take you over to the next topic, which a lot of people are mad because of how the story is being framed, and I call it Legion of Boom -1. Okay. Signs with San Francisco 49ers. Richard Sherman has agreed to a 3-year contract deal laden with incentives for up to $39 million. And he's already having to respond to the public who are already saying that the jerseys are now being torn apart and burned because they don't realize Seattle let him go. He didn't negotiate and say, I'm not. They just let him go. And with that being said, they're doing what they call dumping the money. And here's the other thing.
Yeah, and I always go, when they show those things, please don't make the mistake of assuming that that's most fans.
Right.
When you
Small
see
part.
those people,
Small part.
see the loudest voices get the press, but that doesn't mean that's the way the majority.
But
that could be a very distinct minority of the fans.
How they're going to accept the responsibility of this is the part where they're going to say, do we still have the Legion of Boom? It's still 3 cats that's still playing. But since Bennett is already gone, which he wasn't part of the official Legion of Boom, but Bennett's gone, Sherman's gone, they're already talking about 1 or 2 more players. I'm going, oh, so are they breaking up the Legion of Boom? Unlike a defensive team we've seen, like the Baltimore Ravens back in the day, Pittsburgh Steelers, we really enjoyed
They had
this.
3 fairly major injuries across that secondary.
Yes, they did.
That's fine. And I think it was more, but those are the 3 because Cam Chancellor
Yep.
has had a rough 2
time.
years.
Earl Thomas had his.
So that's the part where I wasn't sure, Vic. See, to me, I was wondering, and even before his injury, Sherman was looking like he had lost a step or 2.
Right.
Because people were challenging him. So I don't know, as much as I'm a fan of his, we all get older, and I don't know if this wasn't us. I thought it was a sign of the times that the whole secondary had peaked.
All at the
That's
same
the
time.
way.
Let me say something.
Man, they all got hurt at the same time.
Right.
They all got hurt around. I was just going, wow, they're all getting hurt.
And I'll take this up to leadership. If you depend, which I remember the Baltimore Ravens going through this, it says, look, we're the anchor. We're the defense that's trying to hold on until you guys invest in this offense. So we don't have to be torn down. You keep us on the field forever, we're going to break down. And that's what they did. If everybody noticed, the offense was tanked. Russell himself, Wilson, basically is looking at himself going, I'm going to have a short NFL career as quarterback if they don't do anything. They didn't do much. And I always said, you see the peeling apart coming. When Marshawn Lynch said, I got to go, I said, okay, they see something. It didn't pan out. This is where your organization, like the Pittsburgh Steelers, know how to retool.
Yeah.
New England knows how to retool.
I don't.
What they sustained,
wait,
they got 2 Super Bowls now.
We can have a different discussion about Pittsburgh.
But
they've done a reasonable
and
job.
stay up. Always
they did
the
a
first.
reasonable job.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did a textbook job.
No. I'm not using his textbook.
Or
I
I
said,
would be pointing to them as the example.
no, what I'm saying is the Seahawks just went from like, oh, here we are. We're basically going to always have 10 or 11 wins and be in the mix. And then they just took a nosedive. So I'm not saying that they're not going to bounce back. This is where the leadership comes in and you say, okay, you guys suffered through offense last year. You're unloading some money on your defense. is this the retooling, or you're seeing some talent out there that you can plug in, and people don't see it
They do have a
yet?
separate GM, but Pete Carroll has a lot of leeway, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, unlike this, man, we talked about this. In different organizations,
Yeah.
the GM versus the head coach, there's different responsibilities.
Right.
But like New England, too.
Right.
Pete Carroll has a lot to say about the personnel.
He does, and then they're
So-
going to go by the analytics. They're going to go by the life cycle, the lifespan.
I'm just saying, as a fan of Richard Sherman and a fan of the Seahawks secondary,
Right.
I actually was a little bit disheartened.
I was
because
I
they were
was too.
hurt,
and he's a leader.
I like all the players. I like all of them. I like Richard. I like Cam Chancellor. I like Earl. I like all of them. And so the fact, it was just making me feel like the inevitable happens. Like you get older, injuries start to happen,
Right.
other things, and that's part of the process.
Well, even Ray Lewis, when he won his last
Yeah.
championship, he wasn't at his best in those
No.
years, but they surrounded him with other players that said, look, his leadership. And listening to a former executive who actually said, these are the decisions we're looking at. And he commented, he says, look, the intangibles that Richard brings, he is strongly intelligent, highly educated, thought-provoking, a leader. And when you unload a leader, you actually are saying,
That's what I'm
we have a
saying.
better leader somewhere in the mix. Or they go, well, his leadership is not worth the value of the money that we have to pay him. And to me, that's where the decision came in. So I'm not sure, man. I'm just saying, look, I'm shocked that it was him. I was going, Richard? I said, okay.
Well, I
was-
was not shocked by any of this.
I was shocked.
And I
man.
wouldn't be shocked if you have more. I'm
Oh, yeah.
actually not shocked.
Yeah, they're
I
looking-
actually expect
a few more.
for them, and they also remember they need to deal with some issues with the offensive line.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but they got to invest. They didn't put no money into it. They just literally said
Whereas
we don't.
one of the weaker teams in the leagues, I keep reading, Cleveland
Right.
has one of the better offensive
Offensive
lines.
lines, right.
And so maybe we can see that this year
No, no.
with the new people.
You put Cleveland on the map right now, I'll let you live that one out because
I can't. They so I only mention it because they're talking so much about Cleveland in the press about how they think that they did a good restructuring, revamping in the draft and through trades.
Yeah.
But that's what they're saying. They're saying that Cleveland did and that they should look. So we'll see. But that is one of the big talks that's going around.
Did you believe that they would win one game last year? Because the coach said we are going to win a game, and then the wake up came. One game,
Only
man.
twice in history. Only twice in history have they lost every game.
Okay, this is not a display. This is a quick opinion before we move on to a March Madness. And Ndamukong Suh, let go. Money deal. Hey, he's not what he used to be. I didn't get to read any of the details, so you guys have more up on me than I know. I wonder if the image of Ndamukong was more prevalent than the force that he brought, because he was kind of known for, flirting with the lines of penalty. You can't do that. You can't do that. And now he's on Miami, which has not been a contender. When I say that, playoff contender, and they let him go. You think it's money, or is it? Yeah, you know what? We can get somebody who could probably.
Well,
be
it always is money, at least partially, but there's some performance issues.
right.
Even though I would say that's really just 1 year that he did.
He's in there for two or 3 years.
No, I mean that he's had that were a little more trouble.
Oh yeah, he would always. I mean, when he was in Detroit, he had some things going on. Of course.
Well, I mean, in terms of performance.
Yeah.
He did good initially with Miami. I don't know what last year was like.
I don't know either. So maybe, like I said, they see something. Shocked that I heard about that this morning. So I didn't get to see any details. So that's why I couldn't bring you anything. All right, going to take you out of bounds with this and see if Mario's planning to watch any of the games since.
I always watch March Madness.
You always watch it, right?
I always watch March.
Okay, all right. So one of the stories of the Pac-12 is the team that went, they have the championships, the league championships. USC battle for the championship, I believe, against Arizona. Typically, the teams that are fighting for the championship in the division, the first and second, usually get in. USC, it's not going to the dance. They've already said snubs that shouldn't have been snubbed. It's an opinion. Not a big deal. Also, Pac-12, unlike any other year, is totally underrepresented in a performance level because we only got about 3 teams that's going. I think both Arizona's maybe and UCLA. If you're not watching the Pac-12, is there a team you're looking at for Cinderella, or are you just watching the games because you know the excitement's going to be coming down to the last minute?
I'm just watching the games. The part I like about March Madness that I specifically look for every year is the fact that I get to see teams that I've never seen throughout the season. And some of them I've never seen in life.
Right.
Really perform well. It's wonderful basketball. So I like the excitement of the different teams. I like seeing the underdogs. There's always some underdog that does something. Just like there's always some super dog that falls.
Right.
So there's always that. So in terms of competition, Vic, this really beats a lot of even the pro stuff, right? I mean, in terms of excitement, it kind of beats the Super Bowl for me.
Okay.
Because I see a bunch of games.
All right.
Usually every year I see a bunch of games that are amazing, and I try hard to remember some of the players for when they go to pros. I did that with Towns.
Right.
I did that with our man on the Pelicans. Anthony Davis. Yeah, because you get to see some of these cats, and then you know you're going to see them in the pros. You know.
Right.
And then you can't wait.
Right.
Even D'Angelo now at the on the Nets, right, the Russell. You know, I remember seeing him.
Right.
So, you know, there's a bunch of them. Even Julius Randle.
True.
I got to see him, you know, play in the NCAA. So no, Vic, I'm excited, dude.
You're excited for it?
So I actually, it's become one of my better sporting events.
Okay.
I really, really like the idea, and I guess I should be asking myself, what is it I like about what they do that seems to make it right? Because something seems, but I don't know how they select their teams, Vic. I don't know if they're a vote.
Right.
Or a computer. I don't know how they're selecting the team.
They have a formula, and when they start explaining it, let me tell you what happens with it. The argument becomes, you know, it's imperfect, and you're gonna leave teams out. So you heard it all this morning. So you know, look, the teams are in, the teams that are in, but they said the hardest part is trying to explain the formula. When all of a sudden you have a team like St. Mary's, they win 28 games, lose 4. When they say weak competition, okay, you're not in the dance. They'll take Gonzaga. See, this is I call it the West.
Gonzaga's always there.
Yeah, but see, they've won like 28 games. Any team that right now that's about 28 games in any mix as it relates to number 1 or 2 seeds, they're basically a 1 or 2 seed. Well, what's held against them is strength of schedule. But they proved the point that they said, well, the same thing happened with Gonzaga, last year, but they weren't a 4 seed. Same strength of schedule. They didn't hardly play them, so they were comparing, well, you know, they played the same type of teams. How come they were a 1 or a 2 last year? Excuse me, a 2 probably. And they're a 4 this year. So they've compared that the formula seems to switch around. Now, I'm not trying to jump on, there's an extreme West Coast bias. But the reason why I believe it is because they use some of the eye tests. And since it's already been admitted that almost all the coaches that's in this formula and everybody else watching do not watch the games because they come on late out here. So you're literally going into the next day, basically going, I just watched, and they've admitted this, an ESPN clip or something similar, and then go judge by that. So they're not watching the games.
Well, one thing good about that, it represents a clear problem, so it's an easy fix, right?
Yeah.
They could easily fix that by changing the way it's done.
Oh, yeah.
If they want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not mad. So, hey,
they
look.
could change that.
Hey, look, I want to talk about more. It's a lot more. I'm going to follow the Odell Beckham story. I really want to find out about more. That video, I'm out, man, my new sportsman. We go to the next one, the last one. Enjoy your Monday, man. It's all good in the hood. And you're coming.
Victor Allen's Newz Sportz. Written and directed by Victor Allen. Recurring segment of the Morning Coffee with Mario show. Come and join us. Be there. Be part of it. Be part of the experience. Newz Sportz. Hot and happening. Yes, everybody. All right. Getting everything together here. We've been enjoying the show so far. Morning coffee. Getting ready for that hot picks. Let me change my battery.
Okay, it's that time again. We're going to sit back and end you off with our broadcast day here, Monday morning, going into that lunch hour. We're going to do a special on track and field. The reason why we just recently had the World Indoor Track and Field Games, track and field, and then also the NCAA NCAA Indoor Championships recently won. Especially on the women's side, I believe it was Georgia, I believe. I'll double check. But what spotted me on this, Mario, was the part that reminded me of what we used to be watching most of the time. We got so used to the USA men's sprinters in the 100 meters and the hurdles, and the relay teams dominating, and they just dominated. And then the Jamaicans came, and then they dominated for the last decade plus or so. Somehow or another, that this new category, what I call the swift and the beautiful, and that's what I'm calling it. And I'm trying to figure out of all the glamour events in track and field, you have the 100 meters, 200 meters, you have the long jump, triple jump, high jump, 3,000 meters, 1,500 meters, 400 meters, 400 intermediate hurdles, and you have the 100-meter hurdles. Why are the USA women like magnets to this particular race. Now, I don't know what the answer is because I have an idea and I can guess. And before I did that, I said, well, let me just go and profile some of these ladies because they are all winners. They are all in a sport that I know that I remember when I was running track and field, coach said, I want you to run the hurdles. I said, hell no, because all I needed to see was an example of a few people hitting the hurdles and falling. Now, it has evolved since then because the hurdles collapsed. So much more.
Yeah, you can leave your scrotum on the hurdles.
But dude, all I had to do is see. Hey man,
you could be singing like Michael Jackson.
Dude, I'm not fit, man. When you see those tumbles and when you see what's happening, it's technique and it's everything else. So I said, let me go over here and check out the ladies. And wait a minute, let me just say this. This particular event is more popular than 100 meters, meaning that why do we do so well in it? So I'm going to start off by giving you the ladies and profiling them. And then you and I will probably try to determine why we think this specific event is the one that the USA women love to go after. It's crowded with talent and then some. I'll give Mario time because I think he's texting somebody, man. Is it somebody that you like?
Man.
Somebody you like,
trying to get, it's like trying to get our 3D shit.
All right. You want me to give you more time? You got it working?
It's going to go. It's up.
All right, I'm about to go. Let me go over here and do this. I'm going to go straight to the first young lady here. And I always got to recognize the person after I recognized the latest sweep at the Olympics, which was in Rio, where this is where it started for me. When I said, look, we took 1, 2, 3 in the 100-meter hurdles in Rio. Got it. No big deal. Well, there's somebody absent out of that picture. Let's go up to the next one, the one who holds the world record, and that's Kendra Harrison. So she has the world record. Now, funny as it may seem, Kendra doesn't have any gold because she always has faltered when it came to the big championship races or the Olympics or the outdoor championships, but she broke the world record. Okay, got much respect to you. Got to give it to her. If she's the best in the world by the record, the ones who are dominating or who are participating in this, we're going to find out who they are. And Mario, the killer, I'm not trying to make this a beauty contest. I'm just saying, why is it that the ladies tend to be attractive in their own way, loving this sport and having their own profile? So I'm going to go to the first one right up here because I call her the one that's sustained the longest. And, you know, when they show that USA and you go Don Harper Nelson, gold medalist in the 100-meter hurdles, Beijing 2008, and still competing today. Okay, still competing today. Former UCLA Bruin, okay, American track and field athlete who specializes in 100-meter hurdles. She was a gold medalist in the 2008 Beijing Olympic Games and a silver medalist in 2012 Olympic Games and the 2017 World Championships. Dawn is the first American 100-meter hurdler to ever win gold at an Olympics and a medal in the following Olympics. Accomplishment? Got it. All right. I'm cool with that. Let's go to the next one because I'm just going to roll through. We're trying to figure out why they congregate to this sport. Let's take you to the next one. The next one is Brianna Hollins. Brianna, okay, gold medalist, 100-meter hurdles, 2016 Rio Olympics, former Clemson Tiger, American track and field athlete who specializes in 100-meter hurdles. Her time of 12.26 is tied as the fourth fastest in history. She is the 2013 world champion and the 2016 Olympic champion in the 100-meter hurdles. I'm just letting you have the portfolio. Let's go to the next. See, this is what I keep saying. Now, I call this the profile I would love to say this is who I am. Queen. Call it just Queen Harrison. Gold medalist, 400-meter hurdles, 2015 Pan American Championships, Toronto, Canada. Former Virginia Tech Hokie. Competed in the 400-meter hurdles at the 2008 Summer Olympics. Queen is a meet director for Virginia's Best Track and Field Classic, a 2017 version of VHSL meet hosted in Richmond, Virginia, started in 2017. So she's about empowerment while she's also a champion. Let's go over to Christy. Christy, She was one of the trio that won in the sweep at Rio. Castlin, bronze medalist, 100-meter hurdles, 2016 Rio Olympics. American track and field specialist, and I believe a former Virginia Tech Hokie. So we got 2 Phi Techs in here. Her personal best for the event is 12.50. In 2016, during the finals of the 2016 United States Olympic Trials, in which she qualified for the 2016 Summer Olympics by placing second. Beautiful. My whole point is that it's almost like this inspiration of looking like, oh yeah, I'm more than just beauty. I'm swift. Let's go to the next one. Okay, Sharika. Okay, if you told somebody I run 100-meter hurdles, I think the guy start laughing because they go, no, you don't run that. Yes, she does. Former Arkansas State University, Red Wolves. She was NCAA indoor and outdoor sprint hurdles champion, graduating from ASU that summer, which was 2014. She turned professional and topped the indoor world in 2015. Mario, if you had a conversation with her and she walked up with that purse and that look and said, you know, I'm a world champion track and field, would you take her serious?
I would take her seriously, and I know at least you'll be inexpensive to feed you.
Why do you demean?
You know, you date girls like this I've dated, they don't eat shit.
Okay.
They don't
all
drink.
Right. I'm leaving that
so
alone.
when you go out with them, they don't drink, and they gonna have like a salad.
Okay.
And a fruit cup.
Okay, so what you're saying...
I'm saying they're cheap dates.
Wonder if they want money in other places. Or spending in other places.
They tend to be wanting to get to bed on time.
All right, let me go on
not
to the
use
next.
no drugs.
Okay, let me just say this.
I'm just saying, if I've dated athletes, they made me feel bad.
So it's a positive.
Yeah, it's a positive. They're healthy.
Okay. I want to give it to Sharika because...
Yeah, go on, Sharika.
You know, that purse is nice.
Yeah,
purse is nice.
Good.
That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
All right. Let me go over to the next because this is the up-and-comer. We've looked at the professionals. There's somebody in our backyard. Newcomer stepping up. Anna Cockrell. Watched her over this weekend. Came in second. It was a photo finish, 60-meter hurdles. Barely lost to Chadwick. I was watching that race. USC Trojan. Okay, from San Ramon, California. She is a communication major and a political science minor at USC. Made the Dean's List in the fall of 2016 and the spring of 2017, named to the 2017 All-Academic Team. She was a champion in the 2015 Pan American Junior 400-meter intermediate hurdles, 2016 Penn Relays 400-meter intermediate hurdles, 2016 World Under 20 400-meter intermediate hurdles, and 2016 World Under 20 4x400 relay. Is she bad or is she bad?
She bad.
She bad. That's your school now, so you got to get behind her, right?
Oh, yeah.
And still in her last year.
Even though I tend to think of
what do you
Howard
think?
University as my school.
Oh, you know, they run track and field.
Not like USC, which is also, I'm also a graduate of USC.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Hey, this is Trojan coming up. She is the newbie. So here's my thing, Mario. We went down the list. This is my theory, and I don't really have anything to support it. You remember Gail Devers?
Yes.
Fingernails, the whole look. Remember Flojo?
Yes.
Go down this list and tell me, do you think that these ladies were inspired by them going, I can be more than just the muscularity, the fitness. I am a woman. That's what they're saying. I can be beautiful.
Harper certainly seems to be showing that right here, right?
I'm just
combination of the hair and nails. You got to look at what they're bringing.
Right.
Brianna Rollins with the wonderful camel toe. Take a look at her.
Mario,
It's gorgeous.
you didn't say that.
Yeah, I can't see her nails, but I like the hair.
Oh, God.
And they also seem to have makeup on. Then take a look at this one again. The hair, big hair. Look how long her hair is.
You know what? That's
her hair as long as my hair.
No, let me just hold that shot. Do you know that that's the closest shot to Flojo? Looking like Flojo?
Look at that hair. Flojo never had hair that long.
Yes, she did. Go look at her video.
Give it to Queen. And then, of course, again, made up, long hair. Long hair, made up, looking good. And that's Christy Caslin.
Mm-hmm.
Sharika, of course. They all got the big hair, wonderful weaves.
You know what? Why you got to call it big hair? Why can't you call
What
it
is that called?
stylish hair? Stylish.
I don't know. To me, it's big.
Okay.
Big and weave.
Wait, look.
So, because they sweat, they don't have time to maintain. They're out there running and sweating. So that, black women, that works in your hair.
My goal
Rather than
is
sweat.
to recognize your achievements, you all. Please,
And
I'm
of
not.
course, I recognize your achievements because this is what your hair really looked like.
Oh,
Because
to
you
see
black.
her hair? Look, you haven't seen the photos of her.
They're still gorgeous women.
Great, unbelievable.
They're all gorgeous. They're all
Unbelievable,
We
man.
give it up. They're fine.
Okay, so let me just say this. In your opinion, because, Mario, you're just, you're a person going, look, I'm just watching. And you see an event where it's the only event where you see the styling of the nails, they do with their hair and everything. I see that more. Now, there's other races I've seen, but in this particular event, what do you think the attraction is where it's like a whole bunch of American women who are performing coming to this particular race, over the 100 meters without the hurdles?
Oh, I don't even know. Sometimes it's even faddish, Nick, in terms of what people run, right?
Right.
It almost becomes like you could have a particular performer
Right.
that inspires a rash of people.
Tiger Woods.
Because young people start doing it. See, what
Right.
happens is young people see it and want to be like that.
Right.
And then they start working out. So I really wonder why, because I can't name the hurdlers, really.
Right.
I can name the speedsters.
Right.
But I can't name the hurdlers, but you got to give it up. I can tell you one thing.
What?
Even the ones you show, like right here
Mm-hmm.
with Anna,
Unbelievable.
you wonder, I know she's going to look gorgeous in that tight-fitting dress. I know.
She's protected.
You know what I'm saying? And
She's
Sharika's
protected.
already,
She
yeah.
has photos out there, but they're not for the big display because she's keeping that
She's an
type of
athlete.
impact.
This
Yeah,
little cutie pie here with
yeah. No, don't say it.
A-cup.
Don't. Keep
Yeah,
it
I
because
like
we don't
this.
want them to extra.
I'm part of the itty bitty titty committee, and so the track stars, these are some flat-chested babes, and so I like it.
Not
I like
all
it.
of them.
Not all of them, but
Not all of
like, because here she's not.
Oh no, not Dawn. Not Dawn.
But I love Brianna with her little body and her cute little something.
You like her stats too, right?
I like all of it.
Okay.
I was younger, my girl.
Okay. So
Of
look.
course, this is Victor one, the stallion.
Oh no! I like the
Long hair.
performance, man. And the hair, the length doesn't matter, man. It's how you
she's
perform.
a cutie pie here, red bone. And then Sharika doing it up.
Sharika.
All of them got those expensive weaves. And
You know what? You just take it to a level.
What? I'm
You
loving
focus
it.
on the word. You
I'm
focus on.
loving it.
That's like somebody sitting up here. What if they said, you know what, Mario? That may look like your hair, but it's not, and
I'll
it's
say, "It is my
expensive.
hair.
They will go.
You can come check it. It's too nappy to not
Well,
be
they
my
said.
hair.
You know what they said? They said it's my hair. I bought it.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with them having it. In other words, it wasn't that. I wasn't saying don't have the weave.
Right. No,
I was saying I would love to see someone like this dressed up in that nice black dress.
They are.
Every woman has the little black dress, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
can't wait to see it on them.
Yeah, no, all of them. The one thing I know that they're doing a great job is protecting themselves from what they call the exposure over social media. Be careful. They're young women coming up in the game, mostly collegians trying to step in the pro game, and the pro game they're delivering. This is my shout out to you guys. Love what you're doing. I still think the Flojo and Gail Devers did it. No one's done it like Flojo. She had the one leg, she had the hairs, she had the nails, she had all of it, and world class. Want to say props. I'm out, man. Take it to the next level.
That's it. What can I say? It's going to be a busy week for us. So far, we've got the usual week in store for you. So we want you to be here and be part of everything as we head throughout the week. Tomorrow night, the Quiet Storm, and then Friday night, the full Friday night agenda.
Right.
We'll let you know.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Like we always say, ain't nobody got our DNA. I want to thank the people at Twitch, all the Facebook friends, all the people at Gear 360 as we work our way to the 360. Come and be with us. Be live! Hey! Come on!
First off, I'm not your regular dude. I bust moves like a young MC. Yeah, sorta, that would be me. Got me thinking about putting down the mic one day. Then I get some more love. Thanks for the love you gotta play. Hey, What can I say? I'm a Leo to the finish, man. I love God, so my faith won't diminish, man. Once I step up to the mic, I speak truth. Hip-hop wasn't designed to exploit the black youth, but somewhere along the lines, we dropped the ball, yeah. I mean that man in the mirror, yeah, that ball dude. But now I'm back to right the wrongs of my past world. So let me walk this off my list like my name's Earl. Articulate my thoughts clearly like Professor Les. Do you remember Rap City with Deja and Les? I'm looking at the front door, bless the main source. You're full, yeah, wait till I hit you with the main course. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. Tribe or shit alone. You like my raps, but really I write songs. I like to do it like this once in a while to show some versatility and make you all smile. It's been a long time coming, I know, I feel it too. The more I take a break, it's like the more I break through. With my timeless space boy funk, I'm on point. You bless this microphone every time I anoint the pen, the pad. I face the bad head on. Escape inside the music, see my diary's a song and song. Till I write my next verse, then I go again into the studio. I feel I gotta flow again. This ain't just music to me, it's like my recipe. To be honest, it's more creative tranquility. This ain't just music to me, it's like my recipe. To be honest, it's more creative tranquility. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. They say they get me, I don't think they ever got me. My name's Kowalski, but they call me Kawasaki. Online I'm funds, but in real life I'm more like Chachi or Cola. I told you, I'm funky like granola. Bars, can't you see that I'm a star? Who pumps his own gas in the cold really fast? I pass on your gold digging stash. I'd rather make my own money, not advance me loan money, no. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. So there you have it. Nobody's got my DNA.